Well, this morning we're joined with Mr. Victor Inge with FEMA. It's disaster. We're talking disaster recovery this morning, and obviously a number of weeks ago, lots of rain put us into a federal disaster area. A lot of people now reaching out to FEMA for a lot of help, right, Vic?
They are. You know, thanks, Hunter, for having me. First of
Absolutely.
all, it's been amazing to see. But what took place in Mississippi took place from almost an entire month's period, from March 9th to March 29th. So what we're doing, we've been here for about 6 weeks since the federal disaster declaration. And in the 17 counties that were designated, we're asking people whose homes were impacted to register for federal disaster assistance. And to date, we've put a little over $13 million in the hands of those disaster survivors, which is not a lot, but it's not designed to get people back to where they were before the disaster hit. Our concern is making sure that the home is safe, sanitary, and that you can live in it.
Right. Now tell me this. Obviously, March 9th to 29th, a little bit ago, over a month and a half ago.
Right.
How much longer do people have the chance to come out and register for this?
Well, right now, there's just about 2 weeks left to register for federal assistance. Excuse me. May 24th is the deadline. But we don't want you to wait until the deadline because some things need to take place during the interim.
Absolutely. 2 weeks, not a lot of time. That means if you want to register, if you've been impacted, you need to make sure to get out there and come see you guys. Now, if people need to register, what is the process? Where do they need to go? What do they need to do?
Well, they can do it a couple ways. You can go online and do it at disasterassistance.gov. But the best way to do it is to pick up the phone and call us toll free. 1-800-621-3362. You know, Mother's Day was yesterday, and I'm sure a lot of families got together in the Delta, as they do all over, and there were discussions had about damage to the house. And
Absolutely.
If you notice that something's sort of missed at Mom's place, you know, encourage her to register for disaster assistance.
To give you guys a call.
Yeah.
Now you guys have also set up numerous places,
disaster recovery centers.
Right. Thank you. I'm sorry. Disaster recovery centers all across the Delta. They've been open and some have shut down.
Right.
But do you have any more open right now in new places?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because those disaster recovery centers were places where people could go and sit down and meet with someone face to face and discuss their recovery.
Right.
We had more than 2,500 people take advantage of those centers.
Fantastic.
And even though they're all closed now, over in Tallahatchie County, there's a service center that we've set up, and people got going over there on late in the week, and they'll be there today and tomorrow only. So if you live in Tallahatchie County and you've registered for assistance and you need some help looking over that paperwork, the place to go is over to the Emmett Till Center there in Sumner.
Okay.
So.
And you've got today and tomorrow, so get on that.
Today and tomorrow. And even though the centers are closed, you can still get help by calling the helpline.
Right.
So.
Now tell me, if folks want more information, if they want to look up, is there a place on the web they can go to or they need to go to? Yeah,
the one-stop place is disasterassistance.gov.
Okay.
But you know, like Tawana was saying, the weather's changing now.
Right.
And there was some bad weather overnight, other places in the United States. One thing we start talking about at this point is, if you were spared by the disaster, the recent flooding, make a plan. It's a good time to go to ready.gov and develop a disaster plan for not when it happens or if it happens. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
We live in Mississippi, and we could be impacted by hurricanes that come up through the Gulf.
Yeah.
Tornadoes, flooding, as we can see.
You know, and that's a real good point. Just finishing up this morning is whether you were impacted now or not, and you were safe. It's important to make a plan because something could happen in the future. And what are the steps that you're going to do? And the best way to do that is what's the website?
Go to ready.gov.
Ready.gov.
Or you can think about it. Think simply, what do we do if something happens here? How do we get in touch with each other?
Fantastic.
Well,
and I got to say, the Delta has some incredible emergency management directors here that are setting up processes for those type of events. So
absolutely,
we're thankful for them. Thank you for being here this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Ready.gov, also disaster assistance.
Disasterassistance.gov to register or call us.
Okay.
1-800 621-3362.
Victor, thanks so much for being here this morning.
Thank you.
Stay with us. Coming up after the break, we've got more Good Morning Mississippi. We'll be right back.